So that's a dirty one, and that's a clean one. I don't know if you can really see the difference, but it looks like you can. And we're up nice and early to go for a morning run to get our hearts pumping before the day ahead.
We've just started the walk back now, down the valley, back down to the van, and we've just had to go up a little bit and we're on this kind of plateau. Hi everyone and welcome to our channel. We are Hannah and Jonny, also known as Finding Our Adventure. In 2020 we converted our Ford Transit to live in full time. Since then we've been on an endless adventure with our two cats Tia and Skye, exploring, living and working in our tiny home. Join us each week for a new episode of Finding Our Adventure. Good morning everybody. So we have made it very bright and early this morning to Bardenas Reales Natural Park, and it is a badland and it's got some really cool landscape here, which we've just been driving along a dirt track for about 20 minutes or so, and we've come across the first thing, which is absolutely incredible, and it's basically this formation just behind me, which has got silt and clay underneath and then layers of sandstone, so that's why it creates this kind of like cone shaped effect, and eventually it will erode from wind and rain and it will just become a mound. So we're pretty lucky to see it like this. So we are just in awe of this place. It is absolutely spectacular, and everywhere you look the landscape is just out of this world. It's actually really famous as well for being in quite a lot of movies. I think Game of Thrones is one of them. Well, that's a TV show. So yeah, you can see why you'd want to film here, and it is a photographer's dream. We've just been spending ages like taking pictures and filming because it's just so incredible, just all the different shapes and colours, and the sun's coming out now as well, so it's brightening all the little bits up and creating some really cool shadows. So I think we're going to have a great day today, out and about and exploring and taking lots of pictures, and we'll try and show you as much as possible. Yeah, I can see one over there as well.
So this area is quite restricted for flying a drone. Like the bit we've just been flying is fine, but literally 20 metres over there is a restricted airspace because there's military things that happen here, and we've just seen 4 fighter jets flying over this like plateau area just behind the camera over here, and they were just like flying right over it. They were doing like rollovers and stuff and going around and then just flying off into the distance. So yeah, luckily we weren't flying over the restricted area and had to drone it when they were coming over, but it's pretty cool to see. And Hannah just said it feels like a movie set with like the planes flying over and stuff.
It must be really cool for them as well, to feel like they're flying in a movie set.
Yeah, it's so cool. So I forgot to close our grey water tank thing, so it's leaking slightly. There's only a little bit of water coming out, but obviously we didn't want it to have a wee all over the Badlands. And then our tap is actually right underneath the van, and it's obviously very dusty around here, so I had to crawl underneath the van.
Don't know if you can see it very well. Come this way. Oh dear. Dusty bum.
So I'm a bit dusty now. So the reason we got up nice and early this morning to come to this area is to avoid the heat of the midday. And so it's only about 10 o'clock now, and we've already got to the second spot which we want to come to. And we're about 3 miles into the park now, and the roads are very, very bumpy and dry and dusty. So this might be our final park spot, and explore these like mounds and hills and stuff here before heading back and going to find some shade for the rest of the day. But yeah, it's just so cool here. It's so vast and open and quiet, and you can't hear anything. And our little drone isn't very noisy, but when there's nobody here and there's no noise of cars or anything else, it sounded so loud. And then when the jets were flying over, it was just crazy. It very much feels like the Wild West out here. Yeah, you can totally see why they come and film movies here, because it's just it's got a very North American Wild West. Yeah.
Just made it back from the park, and we're now going to be making pancakes.
What type of pancakes?
Banana pancakes, because our bananas are starting to go very, very ripe. And this is the result. So 3 ingredient banana pancakes, basically banana, flour and an egg.
Good morning everybody. We have just driven through the Badlands Park where we were yesterday. It was very beautiful. We got to see much more of the park on the main road, which was really cool. And now in the horizon we can see the Pyrenees. So that's our next destination, and we're just going to be driving for another 2 hours today, probably, maybe a little bit more depending on how we feel, and try to get to those mountains.
We've driven about 2 hours and we have arrived at our first stop for the day, or potentially for the night, we're not sure yet. But we're going to fill up our water now and empty our toilet in a bit as well. So it's been, I think Spain was the Portugal was the last time that we filled up our water. So we've been doing pretty well with our water so far, and it would be good to fill up again. You're right.
I just walked into the door.
I can see this big thing growing up, the lump on your head.
Who builds a door so short? I mean, I was crouching and everything.
Use your eyes next time.
I think it's because my sunglasses and my hat kind of like, it blocks off like my peripheral vision upwards.
Dear.
So I can't see the door there. So yeah, I just almost knocked myself out.
Now you're seeing flies, not birds.
So I'm going to have to go lie down now, and Hannah's going to have to feed me grapes.
I wish I'd got that on video. Well, we have had a very nice chilled afternoon, and it's been nice to get out in nature today. And we've also met a couple back from the UK as well, which has been really nice, because that's the first time I think we've met someone from the UK on this trip.
We've seen one other British van this whole time.
We didn't meet them.
So yeah, it's been really nice. So as I said in the last episode, this is leg 2 of our journey northwards, and because we like to travel slowly, we travelled pretty much for the whole of the 3 months quite slowly down the west coast of Europe all the way down to Portugal, and now we're having to go quite quickly to get back up to the Eurotunnel to go back to the UK. And we've been doing a lot of driving over the last week. We've driven all the way through the width of Portugal and the length of Spain so far, and we're at the Pyrenees now, and as Hannah said, we're going to be crossing over the mountains probably in a couple of days time into France, and that's going to be leg 3 of our journey. But we've actually planned something quite exciting towards the end of that leg to keep us motivated to drive pretty much the whole of the length of France, because yeah, we would love to just park up somewhere, spend 4 days or so and just chill out a little bit more. But we've got to get it done because we've only got not that much longer left in Europe, and then we've got to head back. So we're trying to stay motivated and make the most of the time that we can park up in places like this and just enjoy our time. But yeah,
it's a bittersweet.
Yeah,
it's exciting to see everybody back home, but at the same time it's like when good things come to an end.
Yeah, I would say we're probably about halfway through our overall journey heading back to the UK at the moment. Hitting the Pyrenees is probably about midpoint, but yeah, we've still got a long way to go, so still keeping ourselves motivated and trying to stay awake as we drive. Good morning everybody. It is another beautiful day here in northern Spain, and we're up nice and early to go for a morning run to get our hearts pumping before the day ahead, and then we're going to head into town, go get some supplies, and then we're going to drive into the mountains. So yeah, we're going to go for this run now, and then we'll see you guys back at the van.
Let's do this.
We've reached our halfway point and now we're heading back, and because we're right next to the place where we parked up last night, we've got lots of fresh water on hand, so we can have a really nice shower this morning as well to cool off and be nice and clean for the day.
And that's the end of our run. I'm absolutely exhausted, but I'm very glad that we did it, and it's heating up now, so I think we timed it well. Back to the van for a shower.
We've just arrived in the mountains for our park up, and I think we're planning to stay here for the next couple of nights because it's so beautiful, and we're going to make the most of the mountains before leaving Spain and heading into France. And I've just poked my head out of our window at the back, the roof window, to look at the solar panels because they're not charging as much as they normally do. And I've just had a good look and they're covered in dust. We've seen so much dust recently, so I'm going to go up on the roof and give them a nice good clean, and then that should make them charge a lot faster. So I'm going to go do that now.
Filthy.
They are filthy. So that's a dirty one, and that's a clean one. I don't know if you can really see the difference, but it looks like you can. It looks so dusty. That one.
It's more grey, and that looks more black.
This was the dustiest one.
So we've made it to Aguas Tortes National Park, which is actually in Catalonia, and it has got over 200 lakes, which it's very well known for, and tomorrow that's where we're hoping to hike to one of the lakes. So yes, that is the plan tomorrow. We're going to be up early and making the most of it. Today where we're parked, there's not many places that we can wander around. There's this nice little wooded area which is nice for the cats, but I think we are going to take it easy this evening and make sure that we've got enough energy for a nice walk tomorrow to explore the national park.
Good morning everybody. We are out on the trail and the sun is just peeking over the mountains just now. I think last night up in here in the mountains it was about 10 degrees, and I think it's supposed to get up to over 30 degrees today, so it's going to be a warm one. We're going up quite a hill quite quickly this morning, and then we're going to head to a lake, and then yeah, about an 11k hike I think, and then we'll head back down after the lake to the van, check on the girls, and probably get some late lunch, early dinner. But it looks like a beautiful day so far, and we can't wait to get up into those mountains.
It is so nice to be out here in the mountains this morning. The air is so fresh. We've got pines, trees, and loads of other things. I think I saw some wild strawberries. I'm not 100% sure if they were. but it's just so nice to be out in nature. And this trip we have been able to see all sorts of different landscapes. We've been to beaches, almost deserts, that even though they're technically badlands, and now we're here in the mountains. Just feel so lucky that we've been able to do all of this in this trip, and it is a bittersweet feeling that it's coming to an end, but I think we've definitely made the most of it, and we have got very good weather today, so I'm very excited to be out here in the mountains and exploring nature. We have made it to the lake, and what a view. We have got a waterfall just behind us, and we found this really nice spot for a break. We've just had bananas, we've got some chocolate and some fresh water, and it's absolute paradise up here. This is the furthest that the cars can go up to, that you can actually get a taxi up to this bit, but we didn't. We walked all the way up, and then from here into the national park no more cars are allowed. We've just pulled ourselves away from our resting spot, and we've made it to a waterfall which is absolutely spectacular. There's it's not just one big waterfall, there's waterfall, and then there's a gorge just down here, and the view behind me is just spectacular. We've just started the walk back now, down the valley, back down to the van, and we've just had to go up a little bit, and we're on this kind of plateau, and it is just so amazing. I mean, I've probably said this about a million times already, but the views we've got right now, I've been taking some pictures of Jonny, and it's just breathtaking. You've got pine trees going all the way up the side of the mountains, and the path as well, the hike itself is really well marked. They've got these yellow markers here and signposts at most points where you've kind of got to turn, so it's pretty straightforward as well, because I downloaded the maps offline on my Komoot app, which has been really helpful, but I haven't really had to use it much because the trail's been really good. We have made it back to the van. It is such a good feeling being back at the van, and I am in desperate need of a nice cold drink. So we just had a walk through the town, and we have got ourselves some pizza because after the hike today I can't be bothered to cook.
Yeah, neither of us can.
Yeah, so we thought we'd treat ourselves, and I think it's going to be our last day in Spain as well, so we thought we'd end it on a high. We're heading back to the van now and figuring out where we're going to park for the night. The pizza is getting cold, and we're quickly getting back to the van, and the sun is setting just behind me. But it's been really cool in this town because they have had a mountain biking racing event going on. It's all finished now, but when we were arriving, the guys were having their medals presented on the podium, and everybody was out cheering, and it was just a really nice feel. But now it's gone back to being quiet again. And we're just walking along the river here, and there's been loads of fishermen out, and fisherwomen as well, out and about. It's just very, very peaceful here, so yeah, we'll be sad to leave Spain, but France, here we come. So that's the end of our leg 2 of this journey, heading up north. And if you like this video, please give us a like, let us know in the comments what you enjoyed the most about this video, and we will see you in the next one. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye!